Okay, so Wade just dropped an entire response video in regards to the entire drama surrounding him, KSI, Misfits, and Mams Taylor, and he knocked it out of the park. So now guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Wade's response to the entire drama regarding the Misfits, Mams Taylor, and KSI situation, and how he was able to prove his innocence against allegedly being a two-faced fake person. For those who are not actually already caught up with the drama, let me allow Wade to explain it himself.
As you guys probably already know, this all, at least from what you guys think, stemmed from a video I did called KSI versus Jake Paul is not happening. And in that video, I said, even though I previously had thought different, I wasn't so sure that KSI and Jake Paul would pull better pay-per-view numbers than Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Now, we're going to get into all of that in a second, but that was the tipping point for everything that came my way. All of, like I said, the personal attacks. KSI saying I was two-faced, that I was playing both sides, and even going as far as to saying, fuck everything you stand for, you two-faced word I can't say here. Mams Taylor publicly in front of everyone in a Twitter space and now everyone in the influencer boxing scene, just like all of this was done publicly in front of everyone, told me to go have fun on Kingpin, effectively firing me from Misfits.
Who else has built that fight like this? Look at my channel.
No.
Who has built that fight more?
Anyway, have fun on Kingpin, Wade.
Now, since then, KSI and Mams Taylor have apologized for their tone, the outlash, the way in which they went about things, but the apologies themselves don't make up for the words that were said to me. The attacks on my character, personally and professionally, saying that I am one way behind the scenes and one way on camera. I can promise you guys it's not the truth.
Behind the scenes, he's there like, this tag team idea, brilliant, I love it. And then online, he's there like, not sure about this, don't think this is a good idea, da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm like, bro, you 1 minute you're saying you like it to me in private, and publicly you're saying what the public want to hear.
In this clip, you hear JJ explain that the reason why he's so upset at Wade is because he views Wade as a two-faced person and thinks that in public he gives one opinion, but in private he gives the other. However, unlike KSI, Wade actually comes in with receipts to prove the exact opposite.
January 28th was my tweet about tag team boxing, where I said, and I think a quote tweet of Fred's, that I needed to see it, but on the surface of it, I didn't like it. Because as a combat sports commentator, I have seen things tried like multiple man fights in MMA where guys get absolutely battered with their head turns and caved in. So, of course, I was concerned when I heard tag team boxing because this is already a niche in the sport of boxing that a lot of guys that don't box are coming into, are learning how to box. And then on top of that, on a couple of weeks' notice, are going to learn how to tag team box, guys with no experience. In fact, when the tweet went live, B. Dave said he didn't even know what the rule set was.
But how does a tag team boxing match actually run? What are the rules like?
Well, Mams hasn't completely explained everything to me, but I was down because I really want to fight Stromedy. And I think that me and Pineda joining forces would be sick. It'd be like a father and son boxing match, you know?
How long does the rounds last and how many rounds are there?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well,
these were things I was concerned about. The rule set, the health and safety of the fighters. Were we going to take it seriously? Because if we didn't, someone's going to get hurt. I only have two ways of contact with KSI. One is when we see each other in person, and two is through Twitter DM, which we're going to get into in a second. But the last time that I DM'd KSI up to that point was October 14th. And also, in person, the last time I had spoken to KSI was January 14th, 2 weeks before rumors started to circulate about tag team boxing. And then the announcement was made on the 30th, and as soon as I saw it was real, I saw they were actually doing this, I sent a text to Mams Taylor. Hey, Mams, just wanted to let you know I'm recording a video on this tag team idea. I'm going to be honest with the people. Just my opinion, but I don't like it. And I go into why, but that's all. And then Mams Taylor says, you never mentioned that to me when we spoke about it, and maybe I could tell you more about it before you do that. I guess he meant to say so you have the full picture. Mams Taylor and I never spoke about tag team boxing, and I never once told Mams Taylor it was a brilliant idea that I loved, which is why I said in my reply, we never spoke about it. We spoke about a pro tournament that you had planned. All I heard of this was rumor until today. I'd gladly hear more about it for sure. Just doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
What Wade just showed here was extremely huge. All right, pause, but you get what I mean, right? But jokes aside, you get what I mean. Like, he just completely exposed JJ. JJ says like, oh, in private, he's telling me that he loves the idea, but publicly he's saying he hates it. Actually, no. Well, for one, he actually proved that he didn't talk to you at all about this in private, so why you're saying that is really weird. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt and assume that he meant that just in general, in private, he was saying it and that he misspoke. But it literally proves that both publicly and privately, Wade was maintaining the exact same opinion. In public, Wade was saying that he was skeptical about the idea. In private, he told Mams Taylor he was skeptical about the idea. On top of this as well, it just shows just how genuinely both like stupid and fucking like irresponsible Mams Taylor is. How is it that you're gonna veto and allow the idea of a tag team boxing match, but the guy that's literally, well, one of the people literally participating in it doesn't have any rule set? They don't know how many rounds it's going to go. He has no idea how this is going to work. Like, how is it you're going to announce an idea with something like this that could actually get people genuinely hurt, but you don't even know how it's going to perform or how it's going to actually even go? Like, what? On top of this as well, it just shows that Mams Taylor lied to JJ, because if JJ didn't speak to Wade, which he didn't because Wade already proved that he didn't speak to him about it, that means that the only way that he was hearing about apparently Wade being allegedly fake had to have been through Mams Taylor. But when you look at the conversation between Mams Taylor and Wade, Wade is being very upfront about saying to him, no, I'm not sure how to feel about this. I'm not really sure how to feel about this. I have problems with it. So that just means that if JJ had the impression that Wade was, apparently being really supportive of the idea, but publicly was going against it, then that means that he had to have heard that information from Mams Taylor. And Mams Taylor literally lied.
I didn't hate tag team boxing. I didn't like the idea of it because of the health and safety involved with the fighters. I never said I loved the idea behind the scenes. I said that I wasn't quite sure about it and it didn't make sense to me and I needed to see it. And I know I'm taking the long way around here, but I just want to make sure you guys fully understand how wrong this is what they are saying. Again, this whole time, I had not spoken to KSI about it once. I'm in Philadelphia and Mams Taylor hits me with the actual seeing of what tag team boxing looked like. I think it was February 13th. But he sent me some training footage that you guys have now seen live of Derek Chisora, Idris Virgo, and others training the tag team boxing. And once I watched it and saw how smooth and how it looked like it could be better protected, I said, wow, this looks smoother than I thought and can work with the right rules defined. Then I doubled down on the newfound understanding I had of that video after I saw it on the 13th with a public video on the 19th, once again proving the things I say in private, I absolutely say in public. All right, there's the tag. Referee steps in and they reset. Pretty smooth transition. I'm not mad at that at all. The guy's working here, working. Goes southpaw, boom, boom. And he goes into his corner, and a referee immediately steps in. So again, I assume, and there's another back slap tag. God dang it. We're going to be pro wrestling. Let's just at least follow that rule set. The variety that you get with Misfits is something I think is pretty dope. It isn't just one steady thing. There's a lot of different things you can latch onto and say, that's why I watch Misfits. That is why I watch influencer boxing. I'm not too mad at that. I just want to make sure it's done right.
Where you can see from the sequence of events, literally everything lined up perfectly with what Wade was saying. Wade, at the very beginning, claimed to be skeptical of the idea, which he was both publicly and privately, as he's shown. Then, as the idea actually starts to get finalized and Mams Taylor actually has a brain in his head to now give rules to the things that he already announced, Wade is now happy about the idea. Wade is now like, you know what? This seems cool. This seems like it can work. At no point in this entire sequence does it actually get proven in any way, shape, or form that Wade is a fake person and that he's saying things privately that he's not saying publicly, and vice versa. But on top of this as well, Misfits actually was even mad at Wade for yet another stupid reason.
And also, this is so silly that I even have to say this, but another reason I was in hot water or things were an issue or I was pissing people off behind the scenes was because I had an energy drink that I dared to say was scientifically better than Prime. When I was asked on Twitter for my honest opinion about my drink, one that I have partnered with and am invested in and believe in the product for, that doesn't contain any caffeine, that doesn't contain any sugar, I spoke honestly. When someone said, is it better than Prime? I said, in my opinion, yes. But I also, in that same tweet thread, responding to someone else that had said, oh, Wade, you're coming for Prime, I said, they're in their lane, I'm in mine. Because my drink is an alternative to people that don't necessarily want to go down the road of caffeinated drinks, but still want to have an energy boost. That's the reason I drink it. I have central nervous system problems that I'm still going through. It's why I'm in fucking Wales. And this drink offers me that alternative. And I was speaking on my own platform. I never brought that onto Misfits platforms. I never brought that onto the Zone platform. I never came out and said, hey, look at Update, how much better it is than Prime. I've never done that. And people behind the scenes at Misfits still got upset at me for it.
I genuinely feel like this last clip right here actually makes it so the entire incident that happened with Wade is sort of like a blessing in disguise. Having to work with Mams Taylor, who is a literal liar, to also having to work with an organization that won't even, again, allow him to promote an energy drink that has literal health benefits to him. This just goes to show that he's better off just not being with Misfits at all. Wade is genuinely too talented of a sports commentator to be held down by an organization that wants to control everything that he says and does. And on top of that as well, I think it goes without saying that myself and a lot of other people that were fans of the Misfits events, we're going to look at the organization a lot differently now. Yeah, that's all I gotta say for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to actually go and check out Wade's video because there are a few other points that he brings up that I'm not going to include in this video because for one, I focus on the main topics of the video, but two, I want you to actually go and watch his video himself and go support him, man. He needs all the support in the world right now, and I hope he knows that the entire influencer boxing scene, in terms of the viewership, we're all behind him. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for the video. Peace.